It's time for Growing Hope, the show determined to grow up hearts open to pursue the extraordinary. Because you are extraordinary! And now, it's your host, Catherine Lang.
Hello there and welcome to Growing Hope. I am Catherine Lang, your voice of encouragement, here to invest a little in having fun, making friends, and finding ways to be relentlessly helpful. Or, as my husband likes to say, annoyingly helpful. But either way, I am invested in encouraging you on your journey to live your best life one little bit at a time. As we invest in encouraging each other and supporting each other, we spread out seeds of hope. And every time we spread a seed of hope, we plant the possibility that we'll grow up to change the world. Because a little bit of hope will make everything possible. So we need to be spreading seeds of hope. We need to be invested in encouraging each other. We need to be engaged in activities and opportunities that support and lift up and cheer up and stir up each other's hearts and minds to live out what we're uniquely designed to do in purpose and on purpose and boldly yourself, your unique way. I was sharing earlier that I was told a few months ago, that there was not enough of me on my website. They told me to be more me. And it was funny because for 10 years, Place and Purpose is one of my first books, and it's been out now for 10 years. And the whole point of Place and Purpose is finding your unique design and living it out. And so I have been encouraging people and supporting people in this journey to live out their unique design for over a decade while I was struggling because I was so busy listening to all the experts tell me how I was supposed to do it. Turns out I'm supposed to do it my way because my way is the only way that I can go. Your way is the only way that you can go. We need to learn from each other. We need to support each other, but we have to find our own way to keep on keeping on. And that's what we're focused on this week, is finding ways to share our journey, share our learning, share our understandings as we keep on keeping on living out our best lives. And today, the focus is on how sharing enhances our connections with each other. Sharing is about mentoring, mingling, mentioning, mutuality, and multiplying. What's on an M phase? Sometimes it's fun to do that. When we are invested in sharing with each other, it enhances our connections because when you share your authentic self, when you share in your unique design, then you begin to create heart connections. When you share your heart, you connect to another heart. And you also begin to recognize what each other needs in order to expand our connections. If I know you and you know me, then we can share with each other what needs to be shared at the time it needs to be shared in order to give each of us what we need to take the next step. My husband, when he is not feeling well, does not like snarky jokes. He doesn't like any jokes when he's not in a good mood, when he's not feeling well. And I spawned children who share snarky humor in the worst and most inappropriate times. I am an aficionado of inappropriate laughter. They have inherited that brilliantly, which is normally okay. But when we are in a tight situation or a bad situation, it can be a struggle for my husband because his way of dealing with a situation is very different from the way we deal with the situation. So I've had to learn to adjust. But because I have taken the time to invest in him and listen to him when he's sharing, I've made that connection that allows me to adjust. So, the first thing we need to do in order for our sharing to begin to enhance our connections is that we have to be invested in mentoring and in being mentored. We need to look for people that are not quite where we are and encourage and support them in their journey to get to their next level. At the same time, we need to be invested in finding people that are not where we are. They're beyond where we are. They've already been where we are and they're past that point. And connect with them so that we can begin to take our next step. Mentoring is about helping others to understand what you know. You don't have to know everything, just like when you're teaching it. You don't have to know everything. You just have to help other people that don't know what you know learn what you know. At the same time, you want to seek out people who know more than you because they're out there, I promise, and then begin to learn from them. Learn from them, apply it to your unique design, and then begin to walk it out. So, mentoring is about helping others understand what you know, while as being mentors is helping you understand what others know. All of that mentoring is about developing the relationship to listen to what other people need and to hear what other people have to offer. Because it doesn't matter how much you know, if you provide information that they don't need, then it doesn't move them forward. And it doesn't matter how much you want to learn if you don't slow down and listen to what other people are saying, you never begin to have something to apply to your journey. So mentoring helps others understand what you know and helps you begin to understand and implement what other people know. Mingling is one of my favorite things. And some people call it networking. Some people call it connecting. I mean, call it whatever you want. It's just hanging out and getting to know people. We're having fun and we're making friends. Get involved with professional groups. Your local chamber often will have gatherings. Ours has a breakfast once a month and an after hours once a month and other opportunities. You have professional organizations like the Rotary Club or I think BNI. I think that's what it's called. But you have these different communities that come together and they share and they connect. But you need to get involved with professionals that are working to implement their path. Now, if you're not in the organization, you can reach out to the organization and offer to do a presentation. Share your learning with them, share what you know, be invested in helping others, just like with a mentoring, to get to understand what you know and what you're doing and how it can help them. Ultimately, it comes down to being invested in how you can help them in their next step. So when you're looking at speaking at an organization, speaking at a meeting, ask them what their attendees normally want to hear, what would be of benefit to their attendees, and then do all that you can to offer that and go above and beyond. Always make an effort to go above and beyond. When you're just hanging out and mingling at the events, be interested in the other people. Don't try to tell everybody what you do. Get to know what they do. Get to know them, build a rapport and a relationship, and then they will think of you when others need the service that you offer. It's a really good thing to practice your elevator pitch, but in a way that intrigues people. Get them intrigued in what you do so that you can be invested in listening to what they do and catch their eye for later. The third thing is mentioning. When you're sharing what you know with others, they begin to recognize that you know stuff and they start mentioning you to other people. I spoke recently, and one of the ladies that was in the group, the most of the people in the group had no clue who I was, which is great in a small community for to actually go into a group of people that have no clue who you are. When most people can tell you, what size your diaper was when you were born. But in this situation, only this one lady really knew me. And she had very high praises for me, which was a little unnerving. But at the same time, she was mentioning to them that they would appreciate what I had to offer. And she did that because we had a relationship. I have been invested in the relationship. We've taken time to do things together, and she knows my heart, and I know her. It is all about reciprocity. I am investing in you. I am having fun and making friends and being relentlessly helpful. And because I'm invested in you, you share with others what you know about me, the good things that you've heard, the good things you've heard from me, the good things that you've seen in me. And because you're sharing with the people that you know, it adds to my credibility. Instead of me trying to sell somebody that I can encourage you to walk out your best life, you're telling people that hanging out over at Growing Hope is going to leave you with a smile on your face. That's the kind of thing that happens when other people are mentioning you. And when you're sharing, you've enhanced that connection to the point that they want to share. They want to tell other people about, hey, go hang out with this person. It's going to be a blast. When I was in high school, I was just not one of those crazy normal high schoolers. I didn't do drugs, I didn't drink, but I could bend the rules like a crazy person. And I did a really good job doing that. But a friend of mine told me that she got stopped by some kids, and they were like, "Why do you hang out with her? I mean, she doesn't do anything." And my friend laughed. She said, "Obviously, you've never been out with her before, or you would know." Because I had fun. I enjoyed the journey. And because I had fun and enjoyed the journey, that was more important than the other stuff. So she spoke highly of me and what I did because she knew me. When you know people and when people know you, they will mention you and your superpowers to the people that they know. The fourth thing is about mutuality. Um, because we're invested in sharing together and we're growing this connection, we begin to respect that the respect builds and understanding grows. We strengthen that connection even more. Many years ago, I had the opportunity to join a mastermind group. And one of the ladies in the mastermind group and I still speak on almost a weekly basis. She's come up and done a writers conference with me. She has offered to come up and do a word camp with me. We are invested in knowing each other and we're invested in growing that relationship. If I know someone that needs her services, I send them a link or connect them in some way. I prefer to make an introduction. If I can't do it in person, I will make an introduction online. I have another friend that I have done word camps with, and he does the same thing with me. He makes introductions online or in person with somebody who has a need, and I have the skill to meet that need. That's what happens when we're invested in sharing with each other. When we're sharing with each other, we grow a connection. And because of that connection, our respect and our understanding of each other has grown so much so that we are invested in helping each other and bringing together the people that we respect and understand so that what you need that he has, I can connect you to. If she has what you need, I can connect you to. And that happens not accidentally, it happens because we're invested in sharing experiences and understandings and wisdom and knowledge and learning to the point that we have grown the connection to a place of mutuality. We are invested in making sure we are mutually growing into our possibilities. And finally, we multiply as we are invested in sharing and growing the connections. What happens is we multiply our connections. For every person I connect with at WordCamp, I am connected with multiple people through that person in WordCamp. The more I'm invested in this relationship, the more opportunities I have to connect and grow relationships over here because of their connection. Because they tell somebody and they tell somebody and they tell somebody. And if you haven't seen that commercial, there's a commercial out there where they show how this works, how it multiplies, the effect multiplies. If I connect with 2 people at WordCamp, and then those 2 people are connected with 20 people, and I connect with 2 of their 20, now I'm connected to 4 and to 6 people. So those 2 grew to 6, and it just continues to multiply. When you are sharing, you enhance your connections, and because you're enhancing your connections, it multiplies from person to person and to person. And the more we get engaged, the more we are invested in purposeful actions, those actions that are our unique design and our unique purpose, the more opportunities we begin to see through these connections, through these investments, through this sharing, the more opportunities we have to share what we know, what we've learned, and what are our unique superpowers. What is it that is inherently part of who we are and what we're doing so that we can share it out and grow up the people that we're encountering? The more that we take time to invest in sharing, the more we enhance the connections that we have and create more opportunities for connections moving forward. Because when we're mentoring, and being mentored, when we're mingling and hanging out, when we're mentioning each other, when we're invested in mutuality, that is making sure we're both mutually expanding and growing in our design. And when we're multiplying these connections, then we're setting a stage for living out our best lives boldly, in purpose, on purpose, and without restriction, without being tethered to the limits of the world. We are able to take flight into all of our possibilities and to truly live out our best lives because we're doing it our way. When you live your life, your way, your design, your purpose, then nothing can hold you back. You develop the connections because you're sharing and you're caring and you're daring and you're growing and you're learning and you're building these building blocks of little bits to the point that you can just, you're on top of the world. And when you are you, boldly and in purpose, then you begin to change your world. You begin to dominate your world, and it just ripples out so that other people are living their best lives and they're changing their world. If you are struggling to change your world, I am here to encourage you. I want to be invested in your journey. I want to connect with you and be relentlessly helpful. Head over to catherinelang.com. There's a button there. Schedule your call today. And please remember, like, share. You can find me at Growing Hope Radio or at catherinelang.com. Just let's get connected and let's find ways for you to live your best life. You have it in you. You are designed on purpose and for a purpose, and you can live it out. Until next time, remember, be blessed and be a blessing.
Thank you for joining us for Growing Hope with Catherine Lang, where we are sharing hope, encouragement, and inspiration to do more. Visit www.catherinelang.com to invite Catherine to be part of your event or to share your own stories of possibility living. Until next time, remember that a seed of hope planted and nurtured will grow up into a world of possibilities.